big news here, obviously. You're going to be on the cover of Madden 24. That's got to be amazing, man, especially following behind Madden himself. Like, what an honor that is. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a surreal feeling for sure. Get to the league has been the only thing that's ever really crossed my mind. But going back to a kid, obviously Madden was what I played growing up. It's actually how I learned the game of football. So to be able to grace the cover of Madden, I'm just happy to be able to be the first Bill to do it. I know Buffalo and Bills Mafia is going to be pretty pumped up about it, and I know my teammates are going to be pumped up about it. So, yeah, Madden, it's so iconic. It really is football culture, and I love the opportunity to do this, and I'm blown away. Words can't do it justice.
I know a lot of people love hating on Buffalo. There's the Buffalo fans that are ride or die, but I know there are people that kind of hate on Buffalo just because of the fan base themselves. But is this like a ha-ha to the haters moment for you? Are you going through that roller coaster of emotion?
I don't think so. I think this is just, again, it's an opportunity that not many people get to do, and there's if you're not being hated on by 31 other teams, I think you're doing something wrong. So I think as long as your fan base loves you, that's all that matters. And I think this is a world that we live in. It's we're competitive. We don't like the opposing teams. The other opposing fans don't like us, and vice versa. At the end of the day, there is respect. But if there wasn't 31 teams that didn't particularly like me, that'd be worrisome. So as long as there's one team that likes me, it's the team that I'm playing for, and that's the Buffalo Bills, and hopefully I get to play with them as long as I can. But again, this I think Bills Mafia is going to be very excited about the Madden cover.
Yeah. Mike Vick was always a cheat code, but who was your favorite Madden player you used to play growing up, like your go-to guy?
Yeah, so going back, Marshall Faulk was on the cover, and I always played the Rams. It was the greatest show on turf, and I remember, like, again, as a kid playing Madden games with my dad, which you don't get those memories back, and to be able to sit there and live through those memories, I vividly remember playing my dad, and using it was on the original PlayStation, I believe. It just had the two triggers on the back, so the L1 and the R1, those are the jukes, and didn't really have a boost button, if I remember correctly. So the games progressed so much throughout the years, but yeah, going back, it was Marshall Faulk.
Okay. Well, now you and your dad can share that moment. You can give him the game with literally you on the cover.
That's right. That's right.
If it wasn't you this year, who would you have picked to be on the cover, you think?
If it wasn't me, I'd like to say one of my teammates, but I think Jalen Hurts. He's a guy that's playing well. He's been through a lot of adversity in his life, in his football career, and a lot of naysayers, and he's done such a good job, of how he's, really found himself, and, kudos to him for, signing a nice little contract for himself, and, got his team to the Super Bowl, which we're all trying to do. We're trying to win it. So I think that would have been my pick.
Okay. Well, let's talk some football, Josh. Unfortunately, it was, another tough exit from the playoffs last year for you and the Bills, running into the really tough Cincy team on a snowy day in Buffalo. But could you kind of talk about the lessons you're taking away from that game, and also what are those necessary steps you think in your mind will finally take this team into the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year you don't win it. There's going to be 31 unhappy teams. And at the end of the day, we're trying to find ways to get better and to get to that Super Bowl and win it. But to learn some of the lessons that we learned along the way last year. Last year was an emotional grind. There was ups, there was a lot of downs. We were 13-3. I think people forget the fact of how good of a season we did have, because we did end it on such a sour note. And we're going to continue to work hard. We're going to find new ways to move the ball and score touchdowns. And I think the main lesson was being extremely detail oriented, especially when you're playing against the top tier teams, and especially when you're in the playoffs. You have to be on task and on target. And I think that takes everybody on the field. It takes everybody doing their 1/11th and trusting the process, as Coach McDermott does. So we're working on that right now. I know our team is extremely giddy to get out there, and we're practicing hard right now and working out hard right now, and just trying to find a way to get it done. That's all we're trying to work towards.
Yeah. As that game against the Bengals was wrapping up on CBS, Tony Romo, he had some closing sentiments about how guys like you, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes have been the class of the AFC for years now. Well, now y'all do have some company this season, specifically in your division. What was your reaction when you found out that the future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers was joining the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to go against tough quarterbacks in this league, and it's gonna be twice a year now. And
So
I've got a pretty good relationship with Aaron. I'm happy for him. He's in a really good spot. Just talking with him and catching his vibe, but he's one of my favorite players growing up watching. Like, I think he's the most talented football player to play the game, and the most exciting thrower of the football to play the game. Some of the plays that he's made throughout his life are just absolutely ridiculous. He's a junior college guy. He's a California kid too, so there's a lot of similarities in terms of our upbringing and where we're from. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna have to find ways to beat everybody that we play, and that's our goal. Is every time we step on the field, we want to win a football game. It doesn't matter really who's on the other side at the quarterback position. I got to focus on what I can do for my team, and that's going against their defense and their defensive coordinator.
It seems like this mad scramble across the NFL to try and sign D-Hop, and rightfully so, because he'd make any team exponentially better. But it is kind of scary to think about adding him to the Bills roster and being right there beside Diggs. What would be your pitch for him to join all y'all in Buffalo?
My pitch would be it would increase our Madden offensive rating probably quite a bit. So it would bump it. I don't know what it is right now, what it's going to be, but I think we'd jump up a couple points just by adding his name to our roster. So he's a heck of a talent, a heck of a player. We'd love to have him. Who knows what's going to happen with it, and just all the best to him. And not sure where it's going to land or where it'll happen eventually, where it happens, and we just got to focus on what we're doing right now.
At the Super Bowl this year, I kind of pressed Stefon about playing with his brother, because at the time his brother tweeted something or whatever, but he honestly said it'd be something that he would love to do one day, and understandable with it being his brother. But when I see all these rumors about him being unhappy, one, I know you can't believe everything you hear, but two, I know there's always a little bit of something behind these things, I think. So I'm curious for you and him, like, do y'all have a relationship where you guys could talk about each other's feelings towards maybe what's going on with the team, or personally, like, do y'all have that relationship with one another?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, he's a guy that just wants to win football games, and he wants to be the best version of himself. And alluding to your brother comment, who would want to play with their brother in the NFL? That's a dream come true. I remember playing with my brother in the backyard, playing Madden with my brother. Running to as soon as we got home from school, running to the room to see who was first controller so we can be the home team. That's what dreams are made of. So that would be a pretty cool goal.
Yeah. What have you seen from Dalton Kincaid so far? I know you lobbied really hard for the Bills to draft in the first round. So what's that ceiling look like on this guy?
He's gonna be a pretty good player. I don't want to make predictions on what guys are gonna turn out to be. I do know the guy is extremely talented. He's extremely smart. He's picking up our offense pretty well. I'm not sure how much, how little, where we're gonna play him at. That'll come with time, and he's only gonna get better as he gets reps. And I love that he's paired up with Dawson. Dawson's an awesome, freaking awesome dude. One, he's a fantastic player too. So to be able to learn from him and just kind of give him some tidbits along the way. But when we talk about putting guys out in the field, him and Dalton and Dawson together, could open up some good things for our offense. But again, we'll see how that all pans out.
For you personally, you talked a bit about this offseason, about exploring ways to change how you approach playing quarterback, almost reinventing yourself. So could you dig a little bit deeper into that? And could we see some of the new Josh Allen this upcoming season?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be smarter with the football, smarter with my body. Making sure that we're not leaving anything on the field. I thought we left quite a bit on the field last year, and I think I can help that. You talk about turnovers, you talk about situations where we're taking points away from us, and throughout all that and the self-study that we've done, and you look at our numbers, I mean, it's still top 5 in the league, and there's a lot of categories that were 1 or 2. So again, finding new ways to consistently keep bumping us up in those categories, and allowing ourselves to score more points. That's the name of the game. Score as many points as you can, score more than the other guys, and you do that with good, efficient offense, and we're working on that right now.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to see more conversations with athletes and stars, check out these videos right here and be sure to subscribe for more from USA Today Sports.